I thought Ansu Fati looked kind of decent, like he's approaching health again, like for real, like he might be useful someday. And I
Well,
want to say if you get,
he shot and then
Isn't that
injured
what people
himself.
always say about him? He looks all right.
yeah,
He's
that's what we
decent.
say. That's what we're just hoping. I mean, he really. Like, I think people. He's been injured for so long that we kind of forget how good he was when we were
No,
hyping
he
him.
was
He was really
seriously,
good.
seriously putting guys
That's
in
the thing
headshots
about the
every
old
week.
days, though. The old days.
He's like 22 years old, man.
Listen, the game is the game. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show, the weekend review edition. This is your host, Deen, and today, yet again, we have Gabby with us. What is going on, Gabby? Thanks for joining us.
Fuck Chelsea.
Ooh, ooh.
Coach, I'm not sure what are you booing or who are you booing?
I'll leave it up to interpretation of the listener.
Oh man, it might get spicy today. All right, we start in the Bundesliga, where the league was finally wrapped up, sort of through the back door, but and pause on the back door. Damn, already fell off. My bad, people. That's on me. That's my bad. That's my bad. Not coach's bad. My bad. But RB Leipzig 3, Bayern 3. We had a suspended Harry Kane watching from not necessarily the sideline, from the stands, and this was supposed to be the first trophy of his career. And I'm gonna just skip to the funny part at the end. They were leading 3-2 after coming back from 2-0 down. And it was looking like they were going to be able to celebrate that moment. Harry Kane got special dispensation from the Bundesliga to be able to stand on the sideline. Because over there, suspended people do not get to stand on the sideline. And Yusuf Poulsen was like, you know what would be really funny? If I equalized for Leipzig with the last kick of the game and made sure that there was no fucking celebration in our stadium. And that's exactly what happened. And usually I'm a ladies first type of guy, but I can feel the hate emanating from you, the hate and joy, coach. So go ahead. Let Harry Kane have it.
Well, first of all, fuck Tottenham. So first and foremost, this is the most Spursy way to do anything. The game itself was, I feel as if there's been a lot of a hangover second half of the season from Bayern Munich in a lot of their games. And it just felt laboured, and the fact that Leipzig raced to a 2-goal lead wasn't a surprise. I think Šeško's goal was so crazy, but I think for me, I kept on watching it back because of how high he leaped for his celebration. That part, like I know he's an athlete, I know he can jump. I've seen him jump ridiculously high, but that one celebration I've seen before, but I feel like he found extra height this time for some reason. It just looked abnormally like. Am I going crazy, Gabby? Or like it just looked
No.
something.
I feel like he gets higher every time.
Yeah, like I didn't understand that. But with that being said, like Harry Kane, Bayern Munich came back. Yeah, good for them. Whatever. Sane's goal was good. Cool. Whatever. So was Olise's actually. But Harry Kane, he could. I actually don't feel like he's happy and whatever else he's tweeted and shit. But he can't be that satisfied with the way it's happened. Like, you want to be on the pitch. You want to potentially have even scored the winner to clinch it, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't get to do any of those things. And to win it while you're watching it, with some schnitzel and some bratwurst, like, I'm not being funny. That's kind of shit, man.
That's not the dream. Gabby, how much would it detract from your happiness not to be on the pitch for your first trophy if you're Harry Kane?
I could never be a white man. I mean, I think he knew it. He knew it last week when he got that suspension. When he got that yellow card, he was like, "Damn, like what have I done?" But I mean, how much is he really missing out on? He's never felt this feeling. Like, you can only imagine it. So,
Right.
whatever you get, you get.
Yeah. As for your boy, the jumping Shesko, that finish, was that something you thought he had in his bag or nah? Because I haven't seen him do that before.
We haven't seen him do that before, but I did think he had something like that in his bag, to be fair. It's just the way that I normally talk about his ball striking ability. Like, we've seen that goal against Real Madrid, which was crazy. But the way he shifts his feet and controls the ball sometimes to score, I was like, he's so far out, he's going to shoot that shit. And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. He said, "Fuck it, the goal's down there somewhere, and I'm just gonna
Right,
put it in the
right.
back of the net."
Fuck it, the goals down there somewhere. As for proverbs and all that, Michael Olise, I'm going to make the. I feel like I'm not going to get a lot of resistance on this coach. I think he might be Bayern's player of the season, which is kind of a big deal for a first year signing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain too tough. I think yeah, it's weird because I don't feel like he's anywhere near as good as he can be, but he's played very well. Like, make no mistake, he's played very well. But I think I like to think I've watched him enough to know what a really, really good Michael Elise looks like. And I don't feel like Bayern Munich have even seen that just yet. So they're very lucky. Like, he's gonna get even better for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, I read this thread on the train a couple of weeks ago, and it was just assessing each Bayern Munich player, and they got to Joshua Kimmich, and they listed all of Bayern Munich's exits in the Champions League, and what position he played in those games.
I saw that.
and 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 it made me laugh. By the time they got to Michael Olise, like, and they were really harsh on all of the players. By the time it got to Michael Olise, was like our best player. You know, he's outshone Musiala, which is a worry. Blah 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 kind of thing. And yeah, I don't feel like there's much argument to be had there. To be honest, if we're looking at somebody else, it'd probably be the obvious one, which is Harry Kane. Um, you know, a breakout season of sorts for Pavlovich, even though he's been injured here and there. Um, yeah, it's to me, it's definitely Michael Olise, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely not a defender. I'll tell you that much about this year's Bayern. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. Good for them. They got their trophy back. I'm actually confused that they ever let it slip in the first place. Let us move on. Dortmund 4, Wolfsburg 0. Two braces from Guirassy and Adeyemi helped Dortmund to a 4-0 victory, and it looks like they might be able to make the Champions League. Gabby, I don't know. Like you have already expressed your opposition to white men, and two black men scored in this game. Does that mean that we're okay with Dortmund making it back to the Champions League next season?
Yeah, it's not really a Champions League without them, you know? Like, you gotta have them in there somewhere. There's gonna be some star that they get. Fucking, I wouldn't be surprised if they get Job next season and then they're like balling in the Champions League and then, in the Bundesliga. They won't get anything from it, but they'll get money when they sell him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Probably going to be some stupid English team that buys him too. Um, Mönchengladbach 4, Hoffenheim 4. I didn't actually watch this, but I looked at the I don't know the summary of it because of the scoreline, and 8 different players scored the goals in this game. That's kind of incredible. Like usually when there are that many goals in the game, you get at least one brace, maybe a hat trick in there. Nope, 8 different people, and Tim Kleindings got the winner in the first minute of additional time. Mainz and Frankfurt drew 1-1. I was hoping that Frankfurt would win this. That's why I made the agenda in the first place. But I didn't get that. That said, I got an assist from Hugo Ekitike, his 7th of the season, so I still won. Freiburg 2, Leverkusen 2. Leverkusen went 2-0 down in this one. So I presume, Gabby, that Leverkusen weren't really trying to fight anymore. They were just like, you know what, Bayern won this like 3 weeks ago. We're tapped out.
Yeah, I just think they're ready for the season to go. I think they know that there's going to be some upheaval. Obviously, Xabi Alonso's probably going to be leaving to Real Madrid, and Wirtz's future is up in the air, and it's just done. Like the project is done now. You've done all you can do.
Yeah, that's very disappointing because they've been one of the more likable teams in the last, pretty much since Xabi Alonso got there. So it's a shame that he's leaving, but this is the way it goes. They were lucky to keep him this season, I would say, because it's Real Madrid. They kind of wanted him, but they didn't have a reason to fire Carlo. Now they have a reason to, which is still kind of weird when you think about it, but we'll see. Coach, standings, please.
Sorry. So very boring now. So Bayern Munich are obviously champions. It's really sad because Eric Dyer is obviously a Bundesliga champion as well, and that's just not good for football. I think it spoils it. Like, shit footballers shouldn't get trophies. Like, I just don't think it's fair.
Leave him alone, man.
I'm sick of it, man. But yeah, they ended up runaway winners. Bayer Leverkusen second place, 68 points. Frankfurt on 56 points in third. Freiburg on 52 points. In fourth, Dortmund are just a point behind them in the Europa League places, and Leipzig are also a point behind Dortmund in I believe Conference League. Yes,
Yep.
Conference League places. And mines are finally out of Europe, which is fantastic. Hopefully, you'll be out of the Bundesliga next season as well, you twats.
Inshallah.
But I was gonna say before we get away from the Bundesliga, I just wanted to say, Schalke. I know your friends aren't listening to this, but fuck you specifically. Fuck you for that tweet because I was rooting for you. I was waiting for you guys to get back to the Bundesliga. Now I hope you stay relegated, you pieces of
Wait,
shit.
what did they do? What did they do? Sorry.
For anyone who doesn't know, Schalke's like English account tweeted out the tifo, the fake tifo that Arsenal had during the
Oh,
game, and compared it to a tifo that they'd had, and I was like, "We're not your peers. What? Why do we have beef with some random
ah,
team in Bundesliga too? What the fuck? We didn't even
yeah,
get Julian Draxler from y'all. Like, relax."
yeah. It's just Arsenal are the Arsenal are Arsenal are the team to make you famous. You know what I mean? Like
When you need engagement,
yeah,
talk about
it
Arsenal.
is what it is, man. But
Well,
yeah, I kind of need them back in the Bundesliga because I have to get a real derby on my off my bucket list. So we kind of need them there, and I'm not going to watch them in flipping Bundesliga too. Like I've got so many better things I can be doing. So
That's what I've been saying, but they piss me off.
well, I agree with every sentiment expressed in the last 30 seconds, and I would like to add. Ah, crap, I forgot what I was going to add. Let's move on to fucking Ligue 1. And Ligue 1, Strasbourg, who have now, I believe, not lost in 11 straight games. Liam Rossini are doing a banger of a job. Defeated a heavily rotated PSG, who have now lost 2 games in a row in the league, in between coming to London to put one on Arsenal. An own goal from Lucas Hernandez and a goal from Felix Lemarechal gave Strasbourg a 2-0 lead, and they pulled one back through Barcola in the second half. But the highlight of this game for me, and I presume for everybody who paid any attention to it, Gabby, was the Doué brothers facing off. Desiree Doué and I forget his brother's name because he's not as famous. That's how this works.
Didn't he
And
nutmeg his own brother?
he nutmegged his own brother. And as a big brother, I just want to make the point that being on a football pitch, where we're both professionals, doesn't stop me from slapping the shit out of you if you try me. If my brother nutmegged me on an actual football pitch, guess who's getting a red card? Me. That's who the fuck is getting a red card. Not a fan of that. But do we read anything into PSG's form? I mean, they heavily rotated, so I'm not really sure we should bother with it. But it's better than them winning. No, Arsenal fans.
yeah, I mean it's good. They lost. But the only thing is they lost their last game before they played us last time, and they had a full strength team then, and they've lost this game again with a fully rotated team. So basically, what I'm saying is you literally never know what the fuck is gonna happen.
This is true.
Yeah, a bit of Schalke, I'm not Schalke, sorry, Strasbourg praise here. Like I don't think people are really understanding just how impressive it is what they're doing. Average age of their squad is 21.3 years old, guys.
Oh,
That means
okay.
there's a bunch of teenagers. So,
Okay.
so,
We don't care, coach, because fuck Chelsea. All right, they're
yeah,
owned. They're owned by
Right.
Bluco.
I
That's why
know,
we hating.
and trust me, I know, I agree. I know Andre Santos as well. Like
Good
doing
player.
whatever he's doing,
Good
it's
player.
cool. Good player. He's absolutely gonna bomb at Chelsea. Not wishing bad on him, but it's just the way it goes. We know how it goes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The best way to assess a Chelsea player is how often your Chelsea supporting mates gas them up. If they're consistently gassing them up, just know they're a bust. Just know that. I'm sorry, guys.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Guys, how many Chelsea fans do you know actually know anything about football? Be honest with yourselves.
I know one Chelsea fan, and that's because we go to the same gym.
Right. Okay. Okay. So
I say
I
that to
know
say I don't keep those people in my life. Not on purpose.
I know like maybe 4 or 5. I want to say that
I
actually
left the
know.
ones that I knew in college, so
Yeah, there we go.
A
And
wise woman.
one is a very very vocal Andre Santos fan, and I know he's a good player. I just know he's actually not making it at Chelsea. So
So
yeah.
it goes. I mean, there's just no room for him to be honest. I mean, and he seems like the role he has in Strasbourg's team is the role Enzo has at Chelsea right now. And while he might end up being better than Enzo, I just don't see them moving Enzo because they spent all that money on him. That's how it works. On to Saint Etienne 1, Monaco 3. We mentioned this game because Folarin Balogun scored his first goal since he got back from injury. Gabby, how pleased are we with this development from a U.S. men's national team standpoint?
I'm glad because being a U.S. I shouldn't say being a U.S. soccer fan is shit. Being a U.S. men's soccer fan is shit right now. So I need to hit someone to take that starting striker spot. And if it's going to be Balogun, I need you to be scoring.
Yeah, very, very pleased to see that. He's had a very injury hit season. That was only his fourth goal of the season. I want to give a shout out again to my little Georgian motherfucker, Davitashvili. He now has 16 goal involvements for Saint Etienne. I feel like if you can get that many stats for a team like Saint Etienne, you're probably worth a look. You're probably worth a look. He's a good player. He did something extremely selfish and stupid in this game to the point where I was like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be in on this player. But the next time he touched the ball, he scored a banger, which was their only goal in this game. But it ended 3-1 to Monaco. Lyon 1, Lens 2. This one ended right before we started recording. A late goal from Anas Zarouri led them to a 1-2 victory at the Groupama Stadium against Lyon, and now Lyon are just outside the Champions League spots, and that's not good because I feel like even if they do make the Champions League spots,
they need money.
Yeah, they need money.
Yeah,
so
they need money.
They need to be in the Champions League spots, and they're running out of games to figure that shit out. But yeah, coach, standings. Let's get out of here.
So, where was I? My bad. PSG are obviously winners. Very, very excited for them. Good for you. Hold on. Oh, there's my tab. Sorry. Yeah. 78 points for PSG in first. Marseille, 59 points in second. Monaco, 58 points. Nice in fourth on 57 points. And Lille and Strasbourg are also tied with them on 57 points. Can I ask a quick question? Who do you think will actually do it? Who will actually make the third Champions League spot there?
Gabby?
I wouldn't be surprised if Strasbourg can just keep it up, to be fair.
I'm hoping. To be honest, I'm hoping they do. I am hoping they do. Not because of any Chelsea affiliation, but I feel like how amazing would that look for Liam Rossini? Do you know what I mean? Like, it'll look so good for him, and it'll make people like Frank Lampard look like absolute shitheads, which will be good,
Hey man, leave Coventry's finest alone, okay?
I mean, yeah, he got them into the champion. He got them in championship players, so again, it's fine. He's gonna get them relegated again next season if they come up. So it is what it is.
Oh man, black coaches unite! Oh, coach and Liam Senior, black coaches. Let's do this. All right, over to La Liga. Real Valladolid hosted Barcelona and lost 1-2, which is not a surprise to any of us on this podcast. The goals came from Rafinha and Fermin Lopez. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen came back, returning from a long-term injury. He's been out since, I think, the turn of the year, or before that, maybe like November-ish, I think.
He literally done his knee in such a nasty way, man.
Yeah. And Valladolid welcomed him back with a deflected shot within 5 minutes. So, I'm sure that made him feel very, very good. Apparently, Gabby.
The game is the game.
The game is the game, man. Ain't nobody trying to welcome you back with hugs and kisses. So straight go. Apparently, Gabby played really well in this game, but he also suffered a hamstring strain. That's unfortunate. I thought Ansu Fati looked kind of decent, like he's approaching health again, like for real, like he might be useful someday. And I want to say,
he shot in the
isn't that what people always say about him? He looks all right.
Yeah, that's what we say. That's what we're just hoping. I mean, he really. I think he's been injured for so long that we kind of forget how good he was when we were hyping him. He was seriously good.
Seriously putting guys.
That's the thing about the old days, though. The old days.
He's like 22 years old, man.
Listen, the game is the game. I don't know.
That's a shame. In this game, this was another one of those depth really matters games because Barcelona were struggling a little bit in that first half. And they brought on Frankie de Jong, Rafinha, and Lamine Yamal off the bench. And that basically made the difference in this game. Do we think what's going to happen at the San Siro, Gabby?
I kind of don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it, but I actually think Inter win this tie. Personally. I think they have enough. And I think they can defend. As much as the attacking output from Barcelona is exceptional, I think they have the defensive solidarity, especially in their own home. I know the end of the season has been teetering off for them, especially in Serie A, but they might have enough.
Okay.
Just enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I interject there? I'm not 100% against that opinion, only because El Clasico is right afterwards. And it's weird. I know you can only play what's in front of you kind of thing, but it's just I've seen too many times this season, especially in recent weeks, where it's obvious certain teams their minds are somewhere else, and Inter have been guilty of it themselves. Obviously Arsenal have as well, um, and I don't feel like Barcelona could be potentially immune from that as well. Um, it's that one's too hard to call for me, but I wouldn't be surprised if Inter went through as well. But I wanna slightly give the edge to Barcelona only because I feel like they've got more difference makers in the final third, and Inter are not defending the way that they can as of late. They just aren't. Um,
Yeah, my concern for Inter is that Lautaro probably isn't going to play.
yeah,
And, as much as we give him shit around these parts, he is their talisman. He's usually the reason they win
What
games.
happened to Lazaro?
Danny
Hammy,
Danny's he's hamstringing during the thingy game,
yeah,
during
yeah.
the
That's
first
The
leg.
first
unfortunate.
leg, yeah, during the first leg. Like, I mean, it's that time of the season, man. Well,
Mm,
I guess to be fair to hamstring haters,
mm,
they've been winning all year. So I'm not gonna
mm,
say it's that time of the season. Like everybody's hamstring been getting cooked all year. So they're claiming that he might make the game. That he's working really hard, but
mm,
I believe that's just when they say hamstring. Back in the days of Wenger, that was a minimum 3 week injury. So
mm.
for it to come back in 1 week, like nah, that means you weren't injured. Like or you're
Listen,
not
I
gonna be
know
injured
another person
forever.
who might have done their hammy, and I don't
Yeah.
want to see him in France either. So
Oh yeah, Usman Dembele allegedly,
Mm.
but he did. He also came off like Lautaro did in the first leg, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm not particularly concerned. I think I'd give the edge to Barcelona again. Depth, they just have more bodies, more quality bodies they can throw at this assignment. But let's move on. Real Madrid hosted Celta Vigo and won 3-2. Celta started this game with three incredible chances in under 6 minutes. Courtois made one of those saves, just incredible save, but that's par for the course with him. Arda Güler and Ceballos started this game, and they basically wrested control of midfield at some point. Gabby, you got really excited when I said Arda Güler. Is this
I
because
love
you
that
like?
boy.
I was gonna say, is it because you like him or you like kebabs? Like, what's the story about?
Well, I wasn't
Both.
smiling because you said Danny Ceballos. I to tell you that. Arda Güler is he's just special. He's just a special player. I need him to follow his legacy and come to Arsenal, like following the steps of Mesut Ozil. He must.
Well,
Like
what are the odds that he leaves this summer? You think?
I think they're getting lower because we know that Ancelotti, who was keeping him on the bench, is going to be gone.
Mm.
Like, if he was staying another season, I'd be like, we might see him go out on loan somewhere to play. Because I think he knows he wants to play, start somewhere. But now that Xavi is coming in here, new coach, new opportunities, Perez might do some devil magic and shake some things up and sell some players off. So, yeah, I expect him to stay.
Okay, yeah. I think we can all agree that he has not gotten enough minutes this season. Ancelotti probably should have given him more opportunities. Coach, you've seen him for a while now, in limited minutes. But what is his best quality exactly?
I want to say something's probably going to be a bit left of field here, but I think he's physical conditioning. He's a small guy, but he's actually in very, very good shape. Um, it's an underrated quality, especially among technical players and people that rate technical quality above physicality, which is weird, by the way, and dumb. But yeah, I think we all know his technical qualities. We all know how well he receives the ball and how well his teammates trust him. And you don't get that trust if you're not secure with the ball. But yeah, I think just how he handles himself in general, and he's still really young. He's only going to get like a lot more physically like better. But I think that's probably the part of his game that impresses me the most. I know what he can do with the ball. We saw him the Euros last year whacking it from 40 yards into the top corner.
We saw him in this game whack it from the top of the box. Like,
Exactly.
like at this point, I think we see that kind of goal so often in the
Yeah.
sport that we sort of underrate how difficult it is to score that
Yeah,
kind
of
of goal.
course.
But it's a common goal because we try it a lot, not because it's easy. But yeah, the ball striking on this one, fantastic.
He's a top
Mbappe
player.
also had a good game.
Yeah.
Scored two in this one. The first one was really fantastic. A great save from Courtois. Rolls it out. Jude plays a nice through ball into Mbappe, and the way I love when strikers finish when it's an instinctive finish where they're like, I have to get something on this ball, and if I do, I probably have a chance of scoring. And with this one, he was slipping as he shot it, but the power behind that ball was insane. I didn't see the next goal because it seemed very clear to me that Real Madrid were going to win. But I was surprised to see that Celta scored two after that. Then I
They
found out that
almost fucking threw it away.
right. Then I found out that Iago Aspas came, and I was like, I see why that happened.
Yeah.
Coach.
Just on what it might look like after Ancelotti and what the front four that, well, should I say front six that played today for Madrid. This is the level of, this is the sort of profile Real Madrid should have been playing all season, especially in the front four. For me, where you've got Jude. Jude is always gonna play because he cost 100 million, and it's, you know, I mean, he's tall and light skinned. Mbappe is always gonna play because it's Mbappe kind of thing. But the two either side of those two players, yeah, is what has always interested me. Vinicius kind of has to start. I wouldn't say, to the detriment of Rodrigo, because Rodrigo's fantastic, but because of his physical level and just, the fact that he's more likely to try dumb shit that can get you out of a pickle. But the guy on the right hand side, not only is he left footed, he's a playmaker, and I think it's so important, like, for that sort of other option. In terms of the way you want to play, that means Valverde can potentially get a bit more forward because Guller is gonna come inside and try to link things up and stuff like that. He's not always gonna go wide and outside these man. But Ancelotti has rarely ever played that sort of profile, those profiles all together at the same time. It's always been the two Brazilians and the Frenchman and the Englishman. And I feel like he's trying it now, but I feel like his hand is almost kind of forced even. Like, but it should have been a staple throughout the season, and they might have been in a better position in the league.
Oh well, at least now he gets to go make 50 million a year in Saudi Arabia, and it's not a problem anymore. He's not even going to Brazil. Like the whole part of Ancelotti leaving Real Madrid and going to Brazil, like going to Brazil was what made it fine.
Yeah.
If he's not going to Brazil, I'm just like, come on, man. Like, but hey, man, I guess you can never have enough money. Let's move on. Villarreal 4, Osasuna 2. This was allegedly Nicolas Pepe's best performance in Spain. He got a goal and 2 assists in this game. Jose Perez bagged the brace. He has 16 this season. Didn't see that coming when he left England. And Thierry Bari got the other one. This means that they stay in front of Betis for 5th place in the European places. Gabby, how into yellow kits are you exactly?
Honestly, I'm still shell shocked that you say Nicolas Pepe. Dead ass, I did not know he was in La Liga. I thought that nigga was in France somewhere.
Man, that's actually very comforting. It means that you have hobbies that you did not overlap with the rest of us on this podcast. So we respect you for that. Let's just move on before I make Coach quit the pod. Las Palmas 2, Valencia 3. Ali McBurney scored, Coach, but they lost.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping you kind of would have left it there.
Well, he's probably getting relegated, but he'll still live in Las Palmas or whatever the fuck you call that part of the country. So life is good, isn't it? Yeah. Hugo Duro grabbed the brace for Valencia. Carlos Corberan, man, like the coaching job he's done. He got there in January, and Valencia looked like a proper team again. They might even be close to the European places. I don't know. Coach can let us know when the standings pop up in a second here. Alaves and Atletico Madrid 0-0. Atletico's dead title hopes suffered an additional boring death because this game was so boring that neither team mustered a shot. Not a shot on goal, a shot for the entire first half. That's kind of crazy. Like, you have to try to not get a shot, not to mention a shot on goal. But that's enough from Spain. Coach, give us them standings, please.
So Barcelona are on 79 points in first place. Real Madrid are 75 in second. Atleti are just, on 67 points, mulling along. Bilbao on 61 points. Villarreal on 58 in fifth. Betis are on 7 and 6. Yeah, this
Shout
is.
out
Do you know,
Betis.
yeah, do you know what's really it just makes me laugh. Like, I'm not here to hate on United, even though I am, but Bilbao are gonna probably play Champions League football, I think, next season. I think they're gonna do it, and United might as well. But Bilbao have only lost 5 games. Sorry, they've only lost 5 games in the league, whereas United, I think, have lost 14 or 15 in the league. Like, what is
Including
that?
today, who knows? The number is astronomical at this
Yeah,
point.
what is that? Like, it just, this is why we watch football, innit? But that shit kind of shit sickens me because I personally think that they're a better coach side than United, even if they don't have as much individual quality as them. But
Yeah, that watching that game, the Europa League game that you're referring to a little bit here, it was just weird because the game was not supposed to go the way it went.
no,
Like the whole reason Nico Williams stayed last summer well, so they could get to the final of this game in their own stadium, and that
Yeah,
is not happening.
yeah,
I felt so bad for them. I felt
yeah.
so bad. The stadium was so hype, then
Hmm.
their players started doing dumb shit. That's the sport. That's the sport.
Listen, man, I applaud you guys for watching the game. I don't hate watch my enemies.
like like listen, things are just on in the background sometimes.
Pretty like who no,
Like,
like who actually tunes into watch a United game, guys? Seriously, they're not
like
fun to watch.
no, like there's not
They're
like
not.
they're not even they don't even like lose funny no more.
Yeah.
They just lose. Like, and we'll get to that in a moment here. Oh, actually, we're already here. We're at the Premier League. We start with Man City 1, Wolves 0. I didn't watch this game, but I did see that Wolves had a bunch of chances in the highlights to make this 1-1, 2-1, maybe even 3-1. Well, KDB's 35th minute strike was the winner. They are now 3 points behind Arsenal, Gabby. You are an optimist. Can they, do you think they can catch Arsenal in the remaining time?
I worry for Mitch's like mental health if they do catch us because he hates them the most. So listen, as long as we're above Chelsea, it is what it is in the Premier League. I just want May 25th can't come soon enough.
That begs Coach, is it important to finish second?
Absolutely, it's
Oh,
important to finish as high as possible. You know what I
okay.
mean? So I'm not just like people. A lot of my friends like, oh, I don't care. Even if you finish fifth, who cares? Kind of thing. No, no, my nigga, I care.
Like,
I'll tell
Oh,
you why I care. I'll
we
tell you why.
disagree on that. If we even if City were to pass us and we finish it down, I don't
No, do,
care.
do you want to? Do you want to know what? Do you want to know why I care? Like, all due respect, I don't care what other fans say about us. I never really have. But I know it's a dead sort of finishing second this year is not same as finishing second last year or even the year before. But it's important that we set a precedence of look. There's only one team essentially better than us, regardless if it's Liverpool or City. It's mentally. I feel like for the players for the club, like we only have to finish above one team. Like you put it like this: if you're United's position, United are 15th, right? And let me just get this right. They have lost 16 games this season, by the way, guys.
Jesus
Um, in the
Christ.
league, yeah. United now, they have to. Where are they? They have to find a way to get above 14 teams next season if they want to win the league. You see what I'm saying? That sort of mentality. It's almost that sort of mental thing where it's like Arsenal know that at worst we're the best, we're the second best club in the league. In the league, basically, just having that. Yeah,
Honestly, that's a fascinating perspective, Coach, and thanks for sharing it. Because in my mind, we're the best team. We just got injured a
yeah,
bunch
but
of
you,
times.
you know, you know what I mean though. Like, so I just,
Yeah,
so I
I
just, I
guess.
just think it's important that don't sack it off. Like, do
I'm, I'm
think,
not. I'm not saying sack it off. For me, it's
yeah,
just to get the Champions League.
yeah,
I, I, I,
Yeah,
I don't have
that's
the
how I
energy to
feel.
worry about this. All
mm,
my worries are in Paris. That's it. Like if you get through, if you get to the final, everything is forgiven. Like I
oh
don't
yeah,
really
yeah,
care.
yeah, yeah.
So
But I'm just talking strictly Premier League. Like, yeah, City have done well to recover their shit, even though it was basically
yeah,
the 200 million
right.
in January that did that. It is what it is. But yeah, from Arsenal perspective, no, like be professional, finish the job, man.
All right, all right. Aston Villa 1, Fulham 0 at Villa Park. Yuri Tillemans nodded in from a John McGinn corner, and that's the goal that decided this game. Villa are a little bit out of the Champions League places, Gabby. Do you think they have a chance to make it? Well, they do have a chance, but do you think they will?
God, I fucking hope so because I don't want Chelsea to be there. Like, genuinely, I keep telling you this. I don't care who makes Champions League as long as we do and Chelsea doesn't. That's what I care about. Because one thing about me, I'm an Arsenal supporter, but I'm a Chelsea hater.
Mhm.
And that's what's most important to me.
The lady doth protest too much.
Mhm.
Coach, you seem pregnant with thought.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like I really fucking hate Newcastle, man. And it's not that I hate. It's not even that I hate them, but no, it's true actually. I hate them, and I hate what I've seen of the online fan base,
Oh man,
and but yeah, them not making Champions League would just be good in general. But Chelsea not making Champions League would just be hilarious.
I
I think
just
it'll be. Do you know what I've decided? Newcastle don't even matter. They made Champions League the season before. They went out like bottom of their group, like lost like 5 games or something like that. It is what it is. Yeah,
yeah.
Chelsea can kick rocks. Newcastle, you can do what you like. Keep Isaac. It don't matter. You're not doing shit with him anyway. So yeah, Chelsea can't make Champions League. Actually, I've decided. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm delighted by how many words were said that did not answer my question. Let's move on to Everton 2, Ipswich 2. Beto and Dwight McNeil gave Everton a 2-0 lead within 36 minutes. But Julio Enciso's banger, he's good for a banger, inspired a comeback that was completed by George Hurst's header. Julian Enciso, we saw him at Brighton a little bit. We've seen him score arguable goals of the season in every season that he's been in the Prem. I feel like it's 3 seasons now. How do we rate that player, Gabby?
You know what's a weird this is going to be a weird thing to say, but he kind of reminds me of Coutinho in a way that he'll have games where he just drifts through and he's a passenger, you don't notice he's there, and then he'll just score a banger and people will say he's so good, and I'm like, do you guys watch this guy all the time? Like, that's the only thing he's good for, I swear.
Like he's a moments guy for real, like, you know, and that moment, and he knows that moment is always going to come from his ball striking. Like so he's very much like Coutinho. That's the right comp right there. And that's why I never particularly rated Coutinho, because I felt like for a guy that gets the ball as much as you do, you should be getting more assists. You should be feeding the players in front of you. And all you ever do is shoot. Like, you're not Wesley Sneijder, okay? You have a hairline. Like, share with the people. Like, you know. Coach, anything on this game before we move on?
Yeah, Dwight McNeil's goal wasn't bad either.
Yeah, nice little drive, daisy cutter. But you know, I don't give him credit because his name is Dwight. Like, come on now, like it's right in his name. It's like, we know you're a white man. Why you got to be named Dwight too? Like, come on, man. Actually, Dwight is a black name in America, but let's not get into it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, Dwight McNeil isn't actually fully white, to be fair.
You know what? I think I knew that. I knew that. Like, you know, I think one time I saw him playing, and Sean Dyche called him a nigger from the sideline. I made that up, people. I made that up entirely.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Spread the
Leicester City 2, Southampton 0 in the we've been relegated derby. Bilal El Kanous, his name has been ringing lately. He assisted Jamie Vardy for the opener in this one as Leicester ended their 9-game home losing streak. That's just nasty. How you gonna go to the stadium 9 weeks? Well, not 9 weeks in a row, but 9 times, and just see your team losing every time. Like, I would come off the fucking stands and beat Van Nistelrooy up. Like, that's just not acceptable. That said, these El Kanous links, Gabby, should we care about this? He seems like he might be a bargain. They're saying like 30 million.
Yes.
Like, do we need him? Do we care about this? Do we want him?
Listen, I can't speak for anybody else, but I want him. Like, more than ways than one, because that's a cutie right there. We have to up the links on Handsome FC. I'm sorry.
You're sick. I thought she was gonna offer some sort of tactical analysis, and she's talking about
Let me get there.
Not even his FIFA card, his face card. Gabby, you're on timeout, right?
I feel like
we're gonna give you a muzzle. You need a muzzle, right?
To be fair, I suggested the other day. I mean, not on the pod, but I suggested the other day. That was like, what do you think about getting Angela Stilla? And I got almost fucking jumped in the group chat. Like, so you know what? Handsome FC just has to stay handsome. Like, if you want to get El Kanous, go get him. I mean, he's for what I have seen, and granted, I have not watched Leicester a lot this season. But from what I have seen, he is a North African baller. Like, he's just very tidy on the ball. He's very creative, which is what we need. I think we need at least 2 creative midfielders, like attacking midfielders, which we're not going to get. But if you can get me one, I'll take one. And I think he has the thing that Arteta rates the highest, which I don't rate as highly as a quality of a player, but Premier League experience. He's already been in the Premier League for a whole season, and he's been starting for a whole season. Somebody who can be depended upon. I mean, granted, your team got relegated, but that's not your fault. You did your job, okay?
My only issue with the player is that he's African and will go to AFCON at some point. That's the only issue I have with him. I'm actually pretty impressed with him. I like him. He did the, that move that you see in every Zidane compilation where the ball is coming from the sky, and when he traps it, he also does a Cruyff at the same time.
Yeah.
He did that against Lewis Dunk a couple weeks ago, and I was like, bring him. Yeah. That's all it takes for me.
So my thing with El Kanous is at 30 million, he cannot expect to be starting games, which is wonderful for me. So if he does disappear for a month, do you know what I mean? Like, by then, I'm hoping he would have had enough rotational minutes to take minutes off the likes of Odegaard and whoever we sign, whoever else we sign, kind of thing, so that he's not missed for that month, because he wasn't going to be starting those games anyway. But at 30, I think £30 million now, unfortunately, in my day at least, £30 million was a starter, world-class player, but £30 million now is a rotational player.
That's crazy.
It's Miko Marino,
Yeah,
guys.
I was gonna say. To be fair, we paid more for Fabio. That was 40 million right
Yeah,
there. So
exactly. So, and how old is he again? 21, 22?
Yeah,
Like,
he's quite young. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's fine.
I
But
take it back. I take it back. No, don't want to be Chester Molester. He's a little bit too young for me, but that's all right.
Oh man, you're coming
Let me
worse.
get my
You're coming worse than
binoculars
the
out.
niggas with the trump cards and shit, man. What's going on, man?
No, let me get my binoculars out quickly and let me check his age. Hold on.
Oh man, I mean
But
not too much. I just think
yeah,
he's a cutie.
yeah, but the big social media highlight from this game was the ref getting knocked over and Jamie Vardy
Jamie Vardy
using his
putting the
whistle to
whistle.
stop the game, which was
Gabby,
very
I've got
funny.
some bad news. Take a
What's
seat.
that, people?
Take a seat. Take a seat. Take a seat over there, Gabby.
Lord,
Take a seat.
is he
I'm
younger
doing my
than
best Chris
21?
Hansen impression. He's 20 years old.
Lord have
He's
mercy.
20.
Not even legal.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness. But
Strike it from the tape.
that's probably legal in Morocco or Egypt or some shit, man. I don't know, man. But we're not there. We're in America. All right. Let's move on. Let's move
Strike it from
on.
the tape.
Let's get to what's the name of that coach that used to coach at that school where you live? I forget the dead one. It don't matter. We
Who,
move
me?
on. Arsenal lost at home to Bournemouth. There's a whole podcast out and an instant reaction as well. Hop on the YouTube, hop on your streaming service of choice to hear Coach for the instant reaction live from the Emirates. This was probably my favorite one because you could see it in the background for once. So of him like hiding away from the people. Don't care about the noise, Coach. Just do it in the cool spots.
To be fair to the listeners, I think Coach talked about it more, the game more than we did on the actual pod.
Do you know what's mad? Do you know that's the exact same spot I stand in? I was just holding the phone this time.
Nah, bro, nah.
It's
Like,
literally the Henri statue. I'm literally standing right by there. You literally the exact same spot. I'm just
nah,
holding the phone.
I feel like you're usually on that walking bridge.
No,
Lately.
no, no, no.
All right.
Literally the Henri statue. Yeah.
In any event, if you care about this game, the players didn't care about it. The manager pretended to care about it. You can go check out all that material. It's out there for you already by the time you hear this. Thanks for rocking with us. We move on to the mighty Man United, who went away to Brentford and lost 4-3. Mason Mount scored for the first time since he got back from injury. I think that's pretty cool because we hate the injuries. But Brentford responded with 4 unreplied goals, including a Kevin Schade brace to go up 4-1. United scored a bunch of consolations. Ahmad scored one. Good to see him back from injury as well. But Gabby, I feel like you have something extremely hateful to say. So please go ahead.
Actually, I don't have anything hateful to say about United. I actually have something to say about Brentford.
Oh,
Do you guys think that Mbomo is making a move this summer?
Newcastle. If they get Champions League, he's going to Newcastle. That's written all over it.
Because I seen him linked to Liverpool, actually.
yeah.
That could work
He
as
feels
well. I
perfect
suppose.
there, actually. He feels perfect with Liverpool. If they don't get Openda, who also seems perfect for them. That said, Thomas Frank, for the first time in ages, actually talked about the possibility of him leaving earlier this week. And at Brentford, they usually just say, bring the money type thing. And, like, we're going to charge you this much. And they say something ridiculous and scares people off. But if Thomas Frank is actually talking about losing the player, then maybe he thinks something's going to happen this summer. So I think he might make that move. Don't know where he will go, but I'll tell you this much. He's a good enough player that if he ended up at my club, I would not be mad at that at all. I don't know where to play him, but bring him.
Yeah, sorry to Arsenal fire this shit again, but he's the sort of player that if you sign a top, let's just say Shesko is better than what we think he is, right? You supplement that with
Don't say we.
No,
I
I'm
rate
just
him
saying-
highly.
No, I'm just saying however good we think he is, right? Let's say he comes in, he goes crazy, right? And you've signed him and Bremer on top of that kind of thing. Like, do you know how good your attack could be even on a bad day? Like, that's the level of player in Bremer is where you can play him up front, you can play him on the right kind of thing. He's a wonderful player in Bremer. Like, and the one thing I respect about him is that he does the hard yards. He's one of those forwards that you can tell. Like at Brentford, you almost kind of get the sense that everyone has to work hard, kind of thing. But I feel like he even leads it more than anything else, kind of thing. So yeah, I really respect the player, man.
I think Mikel would love that quality in him, but I also know that Mikel, I mean, when you look at Mikel's hairline and you look at Mbuemo's dome, pause on dome, I just don't know, man. Mikel might be a worse handsome FC person than Gabby. I
Don't
think he
do
looks at that
Brian
shit.
like that.
I think he really looks at that shit like, because the way, remember at the beginning of the season when this journalist asked him about Calafiori in this weird interview moment? and Mikel just kind of played it off, and I was like, "Yeah, he got you. He got you, bro. He got you. Chris Hansen coming for you too, coach. All right." Let's move on to Brighton 1, Newcastle 1. This, I believe, is the Yakuba Minteh derby because I think he was supposed to be a Newcastle player. Then FFP shenanigans. He ends up at Brighton. Scores against Newcastle. Lovely goal.
Doesn't celebrate properly as well, which
He
pisses me
did
off.
it.
No, not properly.
That's a shame. That's a shame. I mean, like, come on, man. They don't even like black people out there unless they're Alexander Isak. Speaking of which, he scored in the last minute of the game after the third penalty that Newcastle got in that game. Two of them got reversed via VAR. But Craig Pawson, probably a secret Newcastle fan, because some of the penalties was given away was like, bro, like, come on now. Well, one of them, two of them were fair, but one of them, I'm like, you're reaching for this here. We already talked a little bit about Newcastle and how we don't really wish them well, which is weird coming from the person who's probably going to go to Mecca at some point in the very near future. I don't know why you hating because you're about to go deposit a bunch of money there, coach. But yeah, I was disappointed to see Newcastle get a result here because I don't like the momentum that they've gathered since for the past, I want to say 2 months, really. They've been good. They've been really good.
Since they won the Carling Cup, which it is what it is. I just don't. I put this. I don't like Newcastle because when I mentioned yesterday about Bournemouth playing on the edge yesterday, Newcastle just hang off it. They don't even play. They just hang off the edge. Like they push every single margin as far as they can get, and not in a positive way when they're like trying to get advantages just by running harder stuff. They just kick the shit out of you, Newcastle. Like straight up. And like I'm not oversimplifying it. They've got some some good players here or there. They've got a reasonable coach, but he just tells these players to kick players. When the team's obviously better than them, he just tells them, just kick them. Just keep kicking them. That's what happens. And I hate that because you're not playing a football match anymore. You're actually not playing a football match anymore. You're just kicking the other team, trying to kick the other team into submission. Like it's ridiculous, and that really pisses me off because you don't need to play that way. You actually don't.
I'll tell you this much: you might not need to play that way, but if you know you can get away with it, why wouldn't you do it? And they know they can get away with it because
we literally seen a drive-by elbow. Nigga could have RKO'd on the fucking pitch. Nobody would give a fuck. Like.
So if you can get away with it, you might as well add, every little bit helps. The margins are so thin in the Premier League. I know a lot of the other managers seem to not really like Eddie Howe based on that factor. The good managers, because they feel like he gets an easy ride in the media. Like he's English, he's young, he eats a lot of steaks because apparently, let me not talk about the man's health. I'm tripping. But I think he gets away with a lot of things that, say, like a foreign manager wouldn't get away with. Like if a foreign manager coached them to play in the same fashion, I feel like it could become an issue. But because he's Eddie Howe and he's English, they just act like it's normal. And it's crazy because, like you said, we've seen drive-by elbows. We've seen Joel Linton basically harass other grown men for years now.
Clothesline goalkeepers and shit.
Just crazy shit. But, anyway, we'll see if they make the Champions League or not. West Ham hosted Spurs, and this boring game ended in a 1-1 draw. Early gift to Spurs. Wilson Odegaard scored the goal from an assist from Matis Tell. And a nice 1v1 finish from Jared Bowen, who some people think is the most underrated forward in the Premier League, but I just don't care enough about the father of triplets or whatever the fuck he is. I don't know.
I mean, he's Danny Dyer's, what do you call it, son-in-law.
We don't know who Danny Dyer is, and we don't care.
You've definitely seen Football Factory, right? And you've definitely seen. You haven't seen Football Factory?
No, I have not.
Oh my goodness! Have you seen? Have you seen the?
You've never sounded more English than just right there in that.
Wait. Have you? Okay, surely you've seen Mean Machine, like the Vinnie Jones film.
I've heard of it, and I know who Vinnie Jones is.
Heard of it, but never watched it.
But not.
It's the English. It's the English longest yard. Basically, that's what it is. Essentially, it's exactly the exact same thing as that. Just a football version. Basically.
So is Vinnie Jones the Stone Cold character? Because I don't remember.
No, he's the Adam Sandler character.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That goes to show the levels of charisma required in both.
What else is Danny Dyer being?
You can be Vinnie Jones in England, but you got to be Adam Sandler in America to play that part. That's crazy. Yeah.
But to be fair, it made sense because he's genuinely a footballer. So yeah. But
I don't know. I just know him for like grabbing people's nuts and shit. That's all I know.
Listen, I just know him from She's a Man. To be fair, so like.
But I tell you what, okay, so Danny Dyer is like a really famous English Cockney actor. Like, he's a lad. He's a big West Ham fan. Yeah, I mean, his daughter literally goes out with the West Ham captain, like
So
they're married and shit. But
so he's big in Japan. Cool.
yeah, basically. But Jared Bowen, on him, I think he's a really good player. And he would be a wonderful squad player at all the top clubs. But
Okay, who's better, him or Mbuemo?
I think Obama is better. But Jared Bowen is a quality player. He is.
I think
I won't deny it.
Jared Bowen is going to be like Mark Noble, like just the mid-table baller that the streets will remember. Like he's the
Yeah.
most reliable. If anybody plays FPL, he's who you pick up in FPL and like leave on your bench and rotate with every time.
The only
Like
thing I will say, I don't think Mark Noble got an England cap, if I remember correctly. But um, but yeah, no, you're right. I feel like West Ham is probably he's gonna be a cult hero at West Ham. If he is gonna get a big move, it's this summer. If it's not this summer, I feel like that's the window gone. To be honest.
I mean, I don't even think they have to move him on this summer because they'll be getting money for Kudus. Kudus will be going off to Saudi. Like,
And that would be a shame. I'd really hate if that happened. I hope Kudu stays in one of the more competitive leagues if he leaves West Ham. But what I really want to talk about in this game, I don't know if you guys saw this incident, but Lucas Paqueta got booked by Michael Oliver, and he just broke down and started crying. And honestly,
he does.
I ain't going front. We all know what happened. He has a gambling pairing. What?
He's not slick. He can't fool me.
I'm not gonna lie, Gabby. It worked on me. I felt so bad for him because I'm like, one, he's been terrible basically the entire season. He has never gotten back to his prior level, and it looks as if they might have him on these charges.
You know why you felt bad for him? Because
I
you're a
gamble?
man. A man seeing another man cry, you're like, oh, must be real. Me? No, you can't fool me.
I can't stand Jamaican woman. Yeah,
He
but
said that from the comfort of his home. Right?
I'm safe, bro. I'm safe. Away from all the Jamaican women I've ever met. That said, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, Gabby. It actually worked on me. I felt bad for the guy. I really did. Like, it's really tough to see someone in the moment where I'm sure that yellow card just reminded him that, damn, like, this was the most innocuous shit, and I basically burned my career for this stupid shit. Like, it was dumb, man. I've heard details about the case, and I'm not sure how he can get away from that. Like,
he's not. That guy's cooked.
he's finished,
It
man.
just
Like,
is.
like, he needs to go play in Lagos, man. I'm sure they'll let him rock in the Nigerian Premier
He's
League.
another tick on the side of keep Brazilians away from my club. Like, 'cause they're not very smart.
Man, that's wild for a Gabriel stand. That is wild. But you know what?
He's the only one. He's the only one. Gabriel, I think of Gabriel as like the last of the old guard. He should have been in the teens with the like Thiago Silvas. He can't be with these brothers right now. Like Rodrigo is the guy who needs brother. I don't believe him.
I don't know that you can use brother for a Brazilian because apparently when you make enough money in Brazil, you're just white. But that's a different conversation for another day. That's why Pele was the greatest Brazilian because they just pretend he's white. It's fucking weird. Anyway, Chelsea 3, Liverpool 1. Liverpool got their guard of honor that all the children on the internet were sad about. And they got it with a side of an ass kicking from Chelsea because Chelsea looked really good in this game. Cole Palmer looked decent for the first time in what feels like months to me. And honestly, you know what? I know we're a fuck Chelsea gang, but how important is Romeo Lavia to that club? Is he the best player at that club or the most important player or both? Gabby, I know you hate them, but you got to talk about this.
Honestly, I want to throw up. But he's not. I don't think he's the best player for that club, but he is one of the most important players for that club. As high as they rate Caicedo or whoever the fuck, that guy. I just think that if Lavia was fit, they wouldn't be looking the way they're looking. Like, it's just as simple as that. And you can tell by the way that Maresca talks about him sometimes. Like when he was injured, he would talk about him in press conferences quite a lot. Which is unfortunate because I really did not want him to go there.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious that when he got substituted, the Liverpool fans were booing him very directly. He had to walk by them to get off the pitch.
Yeah.
They were booing the shit out of him, and it was pretty funny because it looked like they were gonna get him. And same thing with Caicedo, and it didn't.
I mean, get ready for that because we'll get that with Zubi. We'll get that with Zubi. It's fine.
Coach, what were you about to say?
No, I was just gonna say that usually happens when you don't ask Liverpool fans if you're allowed to actually even walk, because Liverpool invented everything. So they booed him for just walking without asking his permission.
It's like, hey, Liverpool fans, can I have a career? Is that okay?
Yeah. No, 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 mate, no, mate, no, mate, no, mate. We invented that one as well, mate. Like, fuck off, man. Yeah, Lavia is a wonderful player, and
Truly,
I think the injuries probably have made people forget just how good he is. Because to my mind, he's better than Caicedo. Like, I
bro.
really dislike. Let me just be clear. I just dislike Caicedo. The last year has shown me how much of a shin kicking piece of shit he is. Um, no, seriously, he's just an odious cunt, man. I'm sorry, he
I,
is.
I'll give him this much credit. He's the best at being an odious cunt in midfield.
Yeah,
Like he is the
To
odious
be
of the most
yeah.
odious.
To be fair to Lavia, you know that how much I hate Chelsea. The hate in my heart is could never be explained. But he's the only player that I would take from Chelsea. Like if he wasn't a croc, like if he wasn't so injury prone, like that's a player that I would want at
yeah.
Arsenal.
He's that weird profile of, like, I know he can play as a six kind of thing. I know he can probably play as an eight as well, but are we gonna hand him the keys? Because at every top club, basically, you're starting first choice, one of the first choice sixes or six kind of thing. They're usually the player that is the reference point for the whole team. And forget the injuries. Let's say he was 100% fit. Are we 100% sure he's the sort of player that he can
I'd be okay
he's,
with that,
he's to?
honestly. I'd be okay with that. I don't know
Yeah,
that he's at the level yet, but he's clearly trending towards being that kind of guy.
yeah.
He's just young and a little
Mm,
injury prone, and sometimes people grow up, their bodies stabilize a bit. He can definitely be one of those guys, I think. I
mm,
mean, I saw him put Gravenberg on his ass a couple times in this game. Like, granted, those guys were playing drunk because, they already won. But
mm,
still, it was a brief reminder of that quality that he has. And
mm,
again, when he signed with Chelsea, I was sad as shit because I was thinking he would be the one to allow us to get rid of Five, who
mm.
was until this season always fucking injured, but
Yeah,
contract year, cunt.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
coach, do we have to do the standings in England or not?
Guys, you can read or whatever. Just do your thing. Let's get to it.
That's the most respect you've ever showed to these listeners,
Mm.
and I respect you all more. All right, over to Serie A where there's still stuff in jeopardy. Lecce 0, Napoli 1, Giacomo Raspadori, nice free kick. Alex Meret made a bunch of saves for Napoli as well, and they basically ground out a win. Gabby, can they hold Inter off? They're 3 points ahead.
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, you're playing one game a week. Like, what else? What the fuck else are you doing? I mean, I keep saying that. I said it months ago. I still think that Conte has the juju to get the league title over the line. I think he's going to get the Scudetto, and that was when they were behind Inter.
Mm.
Now that they've taken the lead from them, and I know Inter closed the gap just a little bit to like one game. I think it was like they're 3 or 4 points off them.
Yeah, 3 points. They overtook them last weekend, so they
Yeah.
just stayed in the same spot this week.
Yeah, I still think they get it over the line. Inter have bigger games to worry about. They're more worried about the Champions League.
Fair enough. And speaking of Inter, they hosted Venezia with a very heavily rotated team, and they won with the early Christian Aslani penalty. Coach, do Inter have better odds of winning the Champions League or coming back and overtaking Napoli in Serie A?
I think you mentioned before, it really depends on the fitness of Lautaro, man. Because, yeah, I feel like Lautaro's, like, for all intents and purposes, I feel like he's so much more consistent in Serie A, like, and he's got so many, even just this season, like, he's got so many performances or just things he does that will get Inter out of a hole. In some of these what you call banana skin games. So if he's not fit, they might just, like, Napoli might just maintain their form, and Inter might not wait to put any pressure on them. Um,
So
yeah,
if you are a gambling man,
yeah.
which one are they more like? Are they more likely to beat Barcelona and then beat whoever they meet in the final or overtake Napoli? Which one is more likely to you
I feel like it's more likely that they overtake Napoli.
than win the Champions League?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, I feel like you don't have any. You don't have. I mean, granted, I still think that Napoli's going to win it, but I feel like you don't have any faith in Marcus. Like, they still have another striker out there.
Yeah. And do you know what as well? Like, I know obviously Inter have got a lot more.
He said, I don't believe in that.
I know Inter have got, like, more muscle memory. They've got more, like, winners in that team that have won a lot more than those Napoli players. But just that Raspadori goal itself, yeah, like he scored a goal like that in the run-in when they won the league as well. Not a free kick, obviously, but it was a winner against Juventus, right? You know, late in the season as well. Like I think it was around. It must have been. It must have been. If it wasn't May, it was no later than no earlier than April, kind of thing. Those sorts of things matter in the title running to me. Like, so the players are probably starting to believe again as well. So you're not just fighting against a team that's 3 points above you. You're fighting against a team that are starting to believe as well. So they're running that extra 5-10% a game now because they can smell it.
Because they play one game a week.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Obviously, we get again like that's a huge, obviously, like So yeah, I don't know, man. It'll be hard to see, man.
All right.
Listen,
All
all I
right.
know is if they make it to the final and they're playing us and we lose to a Dumfries stupid ass goal off of some stupid like free kick or whatever, I will fly to Italy myself and commit seppuku. That's all I know.
Oh man, that is not a way for a Jamaican woman to die. Okay, you got to find a different way to die. I'm sorry, we're not. You do not have permission to die. All right, Roma 1, Fiorentina 0. Best league form in Europe in 2025. Roma. They're undefeated in what feels like forever, and their manager is a man that should have retired, I don't know, 10 years ago. Artem Dubik scored in the first half to get them all 3 points at the Olympico. And Ranieri basically said, I'm just here to do a job. Then I want to go travel with my wife. I guess this is a question for someone with testosterone. So Gabby, maybe you pass on this one, but you can pitch in after coach says something here. But what does this man need to do to convince his wife that travel is overrated and that he wants to keep living the life as Roma manager? Because I know in his heart he's not trying to travel. Like travel is so overrated, bro. Like, well, I mean, it's people at places. You are a person that lives in a place. Why are you going? Why are you going places to see people? What the fuck? Like
So
Coach
what can
Roma,
what can he say? There's literally nothing you
he
can.
can say, "I'm leaving you, woman."
No. Let's be sensible here.
You
Like,
don't want to be out here.
yeah, but
You
for,
don't want to be out
At
here.
age
but
74, no.
yeah, no. Put it like this, yeah. Like I feel like he's earned enough credit in the bank. Um, just in general with Roma for him to decide exactly what he wants to do. If he wants to stay, they'll have him. If he wants to go, they'll he'll have their blessing, kind of thing. And that's fine. That's much easier than dealing with a woman. Like way easier. you know. So there's basically what I'm saying. There's nothing he can say, at all.
Damn, you make it sound like he's married to a Jamaican. What the fuck? Oh man, that's crazy.
Mm.
All right, Bologna and Juventus played out a 1-1 draw. Remo Freuler equalized after Krefren Thuram played the shot. Honestly, that goal that Thuram scored felt like match fixing to me. Like that was such a lame attempt at a save by the goalkeeper. Who was that? I don't know him. It don't matter. But that ended 1-1. The game was kind of boring. I fell asleep watching it. Almost missed the podcast recording, people. So I would recommend that you not watch these highlights personally. Coach, the standings in Serie A, please.
So Serie A, we have. Oh my gosh, I just had it.
And we just glossed over Como, my new favorite
Oh, I
team.
am sorry. See, this is why the agenda is open to everybody.
Mhm.
Como, apparently they haven't lost in. They feel like a bit Strasburgy right now, in that
Mhm.
they've in 5 games, they've won 5 straight.
5 wins. Yeah.
5 wins. Okay, that's a good addition to Fabregas's resume.
Mhm.
It should be the reason why he leaves Como.
Mhm.
I'm only talking about this to bother Coach, for real.
No, for real, like no. Honestly, it's fine because he's not ever gonna manage Arsenal. So it is what it is.
he just won't. If you
Yeah,
have that dream, kill it now. It's not
yeah.
happening.
Listen, it's not my dream. It's just something that's out there in the
It's
ether.
not. It's not happening.
It's
Like
just something that's out there.
we've literally had two Spanish coaches in a row. That's two in a lifetime. That's the two in a lifetime you're getting. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
next one got to be French. That's
Yeah.
just the way we roll. We don't want an English coach either. Let's be very clear
No.
about that.
No. None of
Fuck
that.
that.
Um, but yeah. Standings. So Napoli 77 points in first. Inter 74 points. Atalanta 68 points. What a shit end to the season they've had, man.
Yeah,
Um,
well, at least the Catalara came back and played well today. He hadn't done
His
anything all
first
fucking
goal
year.
in like
mm,
2025, I
Yeah,
think.
ridiculous. Like for a player that good, you should
Nasty.
not be off the boil for that long. But
yeah.
nice to see him play well today.
Um, Juve 63 points. They scammed their way into Champions League again somehow.
Bastards.
Honestly, I don't know how they've done that. But then you have Roma on 63, Lazio on 63, Bologna on 62. all the way down to 7th. So yeah, crazy stuff.
Where is AC Milan?
Oh, you don't want to know. You don't want to be out here for real, man.
I do want to know because I want to know if Reinders is available. Like, that's what I
You
want
just
to
signed a
know.
new contract, man. Like,
I don't care. Arsenal, put your balls on the table.
She said, "I don't
54
care. I
points in
think
9
he's
games.
handsome." Where would he play, Gabby? Where is he gonna play?
Personally, you know what I mean. You know what I want. I want to put Rice back at the 6 and put Reinders at the left center mid. That's what I want. That's a box crasher.
Go on, Dean. Actually,
I don't want Rice at the 6 anymore. Okay, like every season he keeps upping his goals and assists. Let's see where that goes. I'm done with the 16. Let's move on.
yeah, I was.
I hear you, but I just think that if he's gonna keep doing this box crasher thing, Reinders is better at that than Declan Rice. No,
I don't think
Reinders has 14 goals this season.
I'll
midfield
be real with you.
in a shit team.
I don't think Reinders is a better footballer than Declan Rice. He might have some better technical skills. I don't think he's a better footballer than Declan
He doesn't
Rice.
have to be. You just compliment the midfield.
Yeah. Well, complimenting the midfield, like there's a lot that goes into the way, for example, Arsenal would want to play. What I will say with Reinders is, and I don't mean any disrespect to him, wonderful player. I think he could be another excellent rotational piece. But my thing with Rice is, we saw him at the 6 on Tuesday, shall I say, and it took him a while to get. When he got going, it was fine, kind of thing. But the game was lost by them. But we're already a goal down, and I don't want to waste these talents there. Like,
it just seems like a waste. That's the issue. Like,
I don't want to waste them so far away from the opposition goal, not for the goal scoring and assist, but more for the counter press.
The counter press
is how we keep the ball in the dangerous areas. It's how we, it's the reason why Saliba will walk off the pitch with barely any mud on his shorts, because the ball is just staying there, up there. So that's my thinking behind it. I don't want Rice at the 6 because I don't think it'll be a waste. Maybe when he's like 29, 30, come back to the 6. But for now, while those legs are still young, keep running, intercepting those balls on the edge of the box, man. Please.
Yeah, we can't get every good player, Gabby. Like I would want him at the club too, but where's he gonna play?
Listen, sometimes I just want us to be a little bit. I can't even say the word. I can't even say the name of the club, but you know what I mean. I just want us to be a little bit like them, just take a player so another club can't get them. Sometimes you gotta afford some talent.
Fortunately, we have some class. We have ruined precisely 0.
And what has class got us? I want a trophy. That's what I want.
Hey man, then go support Leeds. They just won a trophy.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, they did actually just win a trophy. Or maybe Schalke when they get promoted.
There you go. All right, folks. There are Champions League second legs in the midweek. Inter, as we've not even alluded to, straight up analyzed already. Inter hosts Barcelona at the San Siro. And on Wednesday, Arsenal tried to overturn their 1-0 loss against PSG to make that trip to Munich. We've done all the predictions and analysis that we need to do, so I think we can just move on. Gabby, anything else for these people?
Nah, man. Let's just get me to May 25th, and God willing, we beat PSG.
Amen to that. Coach?
Nothing for me, man. Just keep supporting and sharing and all the good stuff, and come on Arsenal, man.
All right, come on Arsenal. All right. On that note, this has been the SPS Weekend Review, and we will talk to you guys later. You know what to tell the people.
Peace.
Hey folks, this is Deen from the Shirtless Plantain Show. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow us on all our socials. You can see them right beneath our recordings in every video. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.